Hello, this is Rel Mixed Bag. Almost most countries in the world are in a debt trap. For example, the United States has around $38 trillion in debt, the highest level in its history. European countries, Japan, every country has a lot of debt. Even countries with fossil fuel resources are in debt. But there is a strange situation here. If everyone is somewhat in debt, who are we in debt to? The truth is actually this. Debt is not just a responsibility. It is one of the main elements of today's world. Wars, crises, economic downturns, and rises, all of them have this debt system at their center. If we examine it a bit deeper, the world actually owes nothing to anyone. The world is in debt to itself. But there is also this reality. Not everyone earns equally. If we go deeper into this, it starts with wars. In the 1600s, when England was at war and ran into financial trouble, it started borrowing from merchants. In return, it said, "I'll pay it someday anyway." That's how government borrowing begins. Then other countries take it as an example. Over time, borrowing becomes ordinary. Instead of being seen as untrustworthy, it means the opposite. If you can borrow, you are trustworthy. When we come to today, things have gotten out of hand. Everyone is in a race to lend to each other. Countries, banks, even humanity. That is, we ourselves are part of this system. For example, if we take America, a large part of its debt actually belongs to itself. Banks, funds, personal debts. So the debt basically circulates within itself. The same thing exists in the world in general. America lends to Europe, Japan lends to America, Europe lends to other countries, and eventually everyone becomes dependent on each other. If we give an example, it is somewhat like this. There is a game played at a table where everyone is present, and everyone has borrowed chips from each other. As long as the game continues, there is no problem. But if someone disrupts the game and leaves, things get complicated. There is also the trade side of this. Big businessmen, large funds, central banks. These greatly affect who sinks and who rises. If trust is broken, even countries can fall into difficulty. The critical point here is this. Today, the system is not actually built on repaying debt. It is built on rolling it over. In other words, countries do not think, "Let's pay off all our debt." They take new debt to roll over the old one. It's basically a constantly turning mill. In fact, strangely enough, if all debts were paid off at once, the economy would collapse. Because these debts also form the foundations of investment, trust, and the monetary system. That's why the system works like this. Every country will be indebted to each other. What matters is not paying off the debt, but keeping it sustainable. But there is an important detail here. Not everyone benefits equally from this system. Interest payments generally move from the bottom to the top. That is, from workers and taxpayers to large investors. So actually, debt is not just between countries, it also becomes a mechanism of balance between people. In the end, the summary is this. What we call debtor and creditor are actually two parts of the same system. If you remove one, the system collapses. But the system needs trust to function. If that trust is ever broken, then this huge structure will truly begin to collapse. And at that point, everyone will have only one question in mind. Who are we in debt to?